Everybody, welcome to the 987 FM Penthouse here at the historic Hollywood Tower. My name's Darren Rose, and this is Billy Corgan, everybody. Thanks, Billy, for coming out.
Thank you. Are we broadcasting this? Or
we're recording it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we can.
I didn't know what I could and couldn't
You can
say.
speak freely, is what I'm trying to get at. You can. You don't need to censor yourself.
I can curse?
You can curse. Yeah.
All right.
Jumping into the studio for the most recent album, Oceana. How has the more experienced and veteran Billy Corgan changed?
You mean the old? That's
changed.
That's code word for old.
In the studio versus the early albums, Gish and Siamese Dream, and.
I think I've learned to trust myself, be patient, and also really trust my bandmates and put them in positions of success. I think maybe when I was younger, I wasn't patient enough, and I can do stuff really fast, and sometimes it takes time to get to the message of something. So I think I'm just more patient with the process.
How did you feel early to mid-'90s as Smashing Pumpkins were coming up in popularity alongside the Pearl Jams, the Nirvanas, the Alice in Chains, the Soundgardens of Seattle, and you were grouped in with that grunge movement? How did you feel about that?
Well, we were fans of everybody, so it wasn't like being compared to something you didn't like. But at the same time, we felt we were so much more sophisticated. We were coming more from like the Beatles and that kind of thing, you know, a more of a varied background. And so when you would be compared to a band that's basically got one gimmick, to use a wrestling term, one-trick pony kind of stuff,
right.
You think like, okay, but that attitude and my reaction to it led a lot to us doing stuff like Tonight, because I knew that nobody in our generation could do Tonight, right? So that was my you-know-what to everybody, you know.
Is there a song that you wish you had wrote?
Tons, yeah. That's always like that's the jealous. When I'm jealous of a song, that's when I think I wish I'd written that one.
Let's hear a few.
Oh, geez, I don't know. Down in a Hole by Alice in Chains. I always thought was such a great song. What's that song by Nirvana? Is it Polly or?
Polly, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, what an incredible song. Yeah, there's tons. I mean, Strawberry Fields Forever by the Beatles. I mean, wow. I mean, if I'd written one of those, I mean, where would we be? We wouldn't be at this rooftop. We'd be in a higher building, right?
right. That's funny. You have a place here in LA, right?
Yes, I live here part-time.
What are some of your favorite things to do around LA?
Well, see, whenever I tell my friends back in Chicago that I live in LA, they imagine I'm on this side of the hill.
The Hollywood side.
Hanging with, Kim and Paris, and I have done that. Although I haven't met Kim. But I've learned...
Kim Gordon?
No. Kim Gordon don't want to hang with me. What I have learned is the best part about it, you stay with your friends and you stay in the valley. Yeah. You hang in the valley, you're all good. You're going to get treated like a human being, and everyone's cool. And I go to the coffee, hey, Magic Johnson, hey, it's like it's all good over there. You come over this side, and it's a free-for-all. Yeah. It's the guy from TMZ, like, what do you think of, The Bachelor? I'm like, what? I mean... Yeah.
By the way, congratulations. I mean, it's only been out for a few days, but Oceana is getting great reviews, and I think some of the best work you've probably done. Would you agree?
I think it's up there, but it takes a while to really understand the depth of a work, Like, I often think of the film It's a Wonderful Life, which is a total classic. I watch it at every Christmas. And yet, when it came out, it didn't get great reviews. They said it was too overly sentimental. It didn't do very well at the box office. This is Hollywood. You know where that goes. And yet now it's a movie that we all have. I mean, is there anybody here that hasn't seen It's a Wonderful Life? Not a single person raising their hand.
It's on repeat during the holidays. I hope everybody's seen it.
That's like, and I like to say, like, when we put out Siamese Dream, it wasn't considered an instant classic. It didn't blow up like Nevermind did. It was sold and it was successful and it made us a big band, but it wasn't like this kablooey thing like it happened with some of the other bands.
Do you buy into the notion that a lot of some of the greatest albums, greatest musicians have written some of their best stuff during their darkest times?
I think that's in a way it's easier to communicate when you're really in pain, because you almost kind of have to. Mm-hmm. But ultimately, it's the less sophisticated form of communication. One of the greatest songs ever written, Imagine. That's not from a place of pain. That's from a place of hope and love.
You've always been open about your struggles with depression, anxiety. How have you learned to cope over the years?
God. This is that simple. Because God's the only thing, and even for people who don't believe in God, then I replace the word with love, right? It's the one thing where you can think about that somewhere out there, There's something that loves you no matter what you do. Because if you look around in life for that, you're never going to get it. It's not going to come from fans. It's not going to come from record sales. It's not going to come from your band, your family. That constant. Because everybody's human and they're going to stumble, including me. And God or love or the mountain or the tree or my doggy is the only thing that I think, okay, that's what love is, right? In the constant. And so once I associate myself with that, then I want to live up to that and not live down to our stupid culture, which celebrates things that don't have anything to do with love. And as particularly, I see so many beautiful young women here, and the way women are degraded in our culture bothers the shit out of me. Just bothers the shit out of me. I'm so tired of women in this culture being degraded. And then consequently, then men being put down in every sitcom for being idiots. I just
Stereotypical stuff, yeah.
I think it's time to grow up from all that. We have a lot of incredible people in this country with a lot of diverse opinions, and we need them.
Do you have like a general piece of advice or a nugget that you might, maybe was given to you coming up as an artist, that you pass on to other artists?
One of the best pieces of advice I ever got was from my daddy, who said, just be yourself. And I knew what he meant by that, you know? And anytime an artist comes up to me and says, I want to make it in the record business, what do I got to do? You're never going to make it if you're like somebody else. You might make it for a week, a year, 2 years, but you're just somebody's bitch at the end of the day. You got to be your own person, and I don't care what you look like, where you come from, transsexual, alien, lover, hater, you just got to be yourself. The public, consciously or unconsciously, picks up on whether or not you're truly real. Now, there are people they will celebrate for being fake, but that's a different game. They like watching like sort of the dress-up version of it all, like, oh, look, dress-up robot number one is wearing this costume. How cool. For the rest of us, it's about real. And then secondarily now, the thing I would add to that is in the new world, the emerging technologies and social media, you're going to have to build your own world. And what I mean by that is they're not going to stick around just because you got one good song. You're going to have an opinion. You're going to have a reason. You're going to have to build your own network of people who support you and you support them. And once you see those systems start to click into place, and then this guy's system and this girl's system are able to put together and cross-promote their own shows and X the old record business right into extinction where it belongs, right? Okay, that's real power. That's real power. It'll make the old DIY power look like the Stone Age. Once that kicks in, look out, buddy, because then the real artists are going to step forward, and anybody will be able to participate in the process, and it will be a qualitative argument and not a girl who has to take her shirt off to get attention, to get enough followers to talk about her demo that she compromised and sold her soul with and had to sleep with the guy at the record company to put out one song, and then she disappears and you see her working later at the coffee house just down the street.
Brilliant. Everybody, ladies and gentlemen, Billy Corgan. Thanks, man. That was great. Thank you for your time, buddy.